Welcome to AstroEnergy with astrologer angel Shelley Overton. Okay. Okay, well, I'm going to start talking. This is Shelley, and I cannot open the chat room, unfortunately, and I'm having a difficult time because my Comcast is out. There is an outage in my area, and I hope you can hear me. I don't know if you can. But unfortunately, I'm going to try and answer one of the calls to see if there is connectivity. Hi, 619, are you there?
Yeah, I hear you, Shelley.
Amazing, yay. Okay, great. If you can just bear with me a second, I'm trying to do a workaround here because Comcast has left me in the lurch. So just going to move my my iPad, thank goodness for iPads, but of course it's almost dying, so I've got to find a plug-in here. So I appreciate your patience. If you give me just a second, I have to move closer to my computer so that I can talk to you.
Okay.
So that way I'm calling on Skype on my iPad, so it doesn't die. Okay. Anyway, do you mind if I put you on hold for just a minute so I can kind of start the show? Is that okay for you? Okay, I will be right back with you. Give me a minute or two, and then I'll come right back to you. Okay, so I apologize to everyone listening that I haven't been able to get on. This is actually working, so I'm pretty happy with that. But you're listening to the AstroEnergy show from March 4th, 2015, and my name is Shelley Overton. I'm an astrologer in Orlando, Florida. I hope you can hear me because I can't open a chat room and I have no way of interacting with you other than the callers. So I am going to just start the show and go from there and see what we get, and hopefully it'll go pretty well. So anyway, I'm going to tell you a little bit about what's going on, and for sure it's not easy. It's been kind of building for a few days. I could feel it, and of course we've got a moon that's going to be full this week. I think it might be Saturday, and of course I don't have my books. Hang on one second while I get those. I was a little distracted, needless to say. Okay. I was a little distracted when I couldn't get on at 20 minutes to 5, so anyway, we've got a lot going on, and the full moon, I just want to tell you that on Facebook I have been posting, actually I take it back, the full moon's tomorrow, which doesn't surprise me. So we've been getting up a lot of stuff on Facebook with different icons, keeping everyone up on what's going on astrologically. So if you want to go on to my fan page, AstroEnergy or Astrologer Angel, that is up, and every day or whenever there's a significant transit, I've been posting icons that kind of tell you all about what it is and help keep you up on it. So anyway, so we've got the full moon in Virgo coming, and of course that's a little bit difficult because Virgo is ruled by Mercury. And then we also have an approaching square to Uranus exact, which is going to be difficult as well. And so, we've got a lot of electronic energy giving us a hard time, and especially the Uranus square. I'm sorry, I'm trying to turn off. I'm trying to do too many things at once. I'm turning off my auto lock. Otherwise, I'll be locked out of what I'm doing. And I'm trying to keep it going here. So I'll just tell you what's going on. How about that? That way you won't get all crazy on me. Okay, now we're back. Okay, so the Uranus-Pluto square, it is within 1 degree of exact right. Okay, so I'm back. I hope everyone can hear me still because I'm back. But I didn't even know when I dropped, so I apologize for that. So I'm going to start over with Libra really quickly because I want to get to the caller so I have some feedback. So Libra is ruled by Venus. She's the goddess of love. She rules the 7th house, which is the very first of the second half of the zodiac, which is about the we and the transpersonal. And the bottom half of the zodiac on a chart is about the I and the personal interaction with the environment. And the top half is about the transpersonal or interaction with others and how we deal with relationships. So the 7th house, which Venus rules, is marriage and partnership and interactions with the other. It's about social working and the connectedness we have to other people in our world. So Venus is about love, and the energy of Libra is air. The element is air, and so the air energy makes Libra a thinker. So this is a house of the ideal, the thinking ideal, and pretty much anything feminine and run through a mental mindset is going to be Venus and Venusian with Libra. Of course, Taurus is also ruled by Venus, but that is earth energy. So I have to touch on it because Libra is not the only sign ruled by Venus. But of course, they're different elements, so they're different expressions of the same energy. So Librans can be very indecisive. And the reason is because they see both sides of the subject. They see both sides of things, and they want to balance it. They want everybody to be happy, and they are people pleasers. They are very interested in helping humanity and society. They're the sign of the social worker. And trying to think. So Libra, I did not memorize it, so I have to look it up. But if you take the human body and go from the head down, each sign rules a section of the body. So let's see, Scorpio rules the pelvis, and Virgo rules the intestines. So Libra probably rules the kidneys, I think. But I'll have to look that up for the next week. I'll try and get that for you for next week. So anyway, that's the sign of Libra, and I'm hoping that I'm still heard here. And I'm going to take some calls so we can keep the few callers we have. Anyway, if you would like to call in for a reading, it's 347-994-3365. Okay. Hi, this is Shelley, 619. Tell me your name again.
Steve.
Steve. Hi, Steve. Is this the Steve I know?
Yeah.
Okay. Great. There you are. Okay, hang on one second. So have you been hearing the whole show? Did you hear me come and go?
5 minutes. No. You were off for 5 minutes.
I was off for 5 minutes? Okay, so it's probably the beginning 5 minutes, and then I came on, and then I went away. So I'm just trying to get a view of what it is. Okay, so what can I do for you today?
I just want to see if there's anything major coming up in my life as far as career, love, anything.
Okay. Anything major? Well, honestly, it's probably been really difficult for you with Jupiter retrograde because it's right on your Venus, and that means that, number one, the energy of Leo needs to connect to others. It's the sign of romance and the sign of friendship, and so Jupiter is right there, and Jupiter is expanding that energy and wants us to connect and wants us to be present and relate to people. But in retrograde, he pulls the energy back, and then suddenly we feel disconnected, kind of like the Aquarian energy, which is the opposite sign of Leo. So there's a certain detachment from that connectedness that we need to feel, and especially someone with Venus in Leo, it's really difficult. It feels probably like you're a little more isolated. And then, interestingly, you have Uranus, which is the planet of detachment, which rules Aquarius, right next to your Venus. So there's a certain amount of wanting a relationship, but also having a sense of detachment and need for autonomy and not being smothered by that relationship. And
exactly.
you have that energy in your 12th house, which is another dichotomy because it disconnects, how do I put it? Uranus is detached. Venus wants the attachment, and the 12th house is a Neptune-ruled house in Pisces, which wants to merge and takes all boundaries down. So probably for your whole life, you've had a certain battle going on between attachment and detachment, because you do get very enveloped in the people you relate to. And with Jupiter, there probably was an energy coming into your life, somebody that you were interested in, but when Jupiter went retrograde in December, it probably, it put the kibosh, so to speak, on it. It's kind of like, wait, what happened? It was here and now it's gone, or I don't feel as connected and I don't know why. So that can be difficult, and it doesn't have to be with a special someone. It could probably even be within yourself because of the 12th house. It's your own personal relationship with your subconscious. So really, anybody coming into your life between last December and now, it's about really your own psychological projection. So, pay attention to that. And then, of course, after April 20th, Jupiter goes direct. And at that point, it's going to be so much better for you. You're going to feel so much better. And I have Venus in Leo as well. So I'm really looking forward to April 20th when it goes direct, because there is a certain amount of that detachment that it feels like nobody really cares sometimes. It's kind of like, how come I feel this disconnection? And you might have felt really holed up and like, I just want to stay isolated. And also you feel isolated even if you don't isolate yourself on some level, probably. With that being said, you also have Aries in your 8th house of commitment, and it's being triggered. You don't have any planets natally there, but you have Mars, Venus, and Uranus up there as well. So quite honestly, right now for this next month, it's really about not attaching to anybody and really being in your own sense of self. To put even more punctuation on it, you've got Saturn in the house of home and family, transiting through and pretty much saying, I need freedom. Because Saturn in Sagittarius in the house of home and family is very much about traveling to new and adventurous lands and not being trapped by the traditional nurturing and even smothering that sometimes happens with family life. Sagittarius, which already was in that house for you also, and you have a 1-degree north node in Sagittarius. So there is a strong life lesson for you on how to detach and really, in some sense, quite honestly, be a little bit more selfish. You have a lot of planets in your chart that are very much about giving and love. And, you really do care for people. You're a giver and you bend over backwards. I mean, everything in your chart, I'm looking at, you've got 3 planets in Leo for generosity, Jupiter and Sun for altruism and giving selflessly. You have Mercury and Neptune in Libra, and those planets are about the social worker who wants to help the less fortunate. You have Saturn in Scorpio, which is a deep, deep feeler. And then you have Moon and Mars in Pisces, which again you have very difficult time with your own boundaries and detaching. So right now, with the strong fire energy in your chart, it is about detaching it, because the fire energy for you falls in the house of all the water planets. It falls in the Scorpio house, it falls in the Pisces house, and Saturn falls in your Cancer house. So it's saying, I need to have time to really do what makes me happy and be creative and really get into your creative nature. And it looks to me like because all these planets are in the water houses, in fire, it's really strongly telling you that this is a time to find your deepest desire and how you express it. And whatever creative nature you have, or even sensitive nature, so things that are related to intuition or, that sensitivity in that vein, those are the areas that the universe is saying you need to do something with this. And Jupiter's going to go direct for the rest of the year after April 20th, and he will hit Pluto, which is life change, and within 5 degrees of your rising sign, which means you're in for a major identity shift come the second half of this year. Okay?
Okay, great.
Yeah, so it's a lot. But anyway, does that make sense to you?
Yeah, but I've just been hearing people saying that March is the month for people to take action on things.
Oh, my gosh. March is going to be a month like a roller coaster. It is so amazing. I really suggest you go to my Astrologer Angel website. I'm doing a blog right now about the month of March, and it's so much that I'm still working on it. But I do have information up there. And it is because of the direct square between Uranus and Pluto on the 16th of March, it's going to be, pretty much this is the last final connection between the two, asking you to finalize all those feelings where you feel, no, this is something I need to do for myself. And it's been building for the last 2 years. And now it's finally like, the final blow of like the contrast, or the person telling you, this doesn't work for me. I need you to be this way or that way. And you're like, but it doesn't work for me that way. I have to do this. That's what this is. It's about standing in your own power, standing your ground, saying, I need to do this. That's the fire energy. And then, of course, the earth energy of Pluto and Capricorn, it's about fear. And this is what you can do. If what you're getting from other people is about fear, if it's about, you need to do this because it makes me scared if you don't, that isn't going to work for you. And it's something they need to address because it's their fear. So that's what this energy is about. It's the final culmination of all of the battle between the fearful and the driven. And that's really what it is. So,
okay.
Yeah, if you are looking to whatever fulfills your soul, that is it. Okay, so if you can get through March and know that there's going to be people saying, you can't do this, this doesn't feel right, I don't like it, those are the fear-based people, and get to April 20th, Jupiter goes direct, and then he's going to be on your side, and all the fortune's going to come your way between now and September with the Leo energy. Come September, all the work is coming your way because then Jupiter, you're going into a Jupiter return next year. So within a year, Jupiter will be right on your natal Jupiter in your first house and then approaching your sun. So you'll be dealing with the energies of work and health and really moving forward with the fortune, because Jupiter is a planet of fortune. It is fortune. You're going to be fortunate. There's going to be work coming your way. And now is the time to commit to yourself, quite honestly. And Neptune is coming up on your Mars in the house of marriage and partnership. It's also about your illusions. When Neptune goes retrograde for you, every time that happens in the next decade, it's going to be going from, I don't want to deal with this, to, oh my God, I can't believe this is the reality of the situation. And that happens in June for you. So from June to like November, I believe, it lasts a real long time, like 5 months. From June to November 16th, it's going to be about the reality of it. And then that would be the time, like if you meet anybody in that timeline, it's going to be, you see them stripped naked, no illusions, okay? If you meet someone when Neptune's direct, it's going to be like you see all the best in them and you don't want to see the negative. So, it's half the year. So it's kind of like, do you want to see a person for who they are and stripped naked, but that's how they're always going to be to you, or do you want to see the best in them? And I personally want to see the best in someone. And I know that there's truth and reality out there because your Jupiter and your Virgo isn't going to let you, Jupiter and Sun in Virgo isn't going to let you ignore details. So you do see truth in that sense. And it's opposite your Neptune, or opposite your Mars, excuse me.
But I think it would be in my best interest to see them as they really are.
Is that what you want? Okay, well, if that's what you want, then try dating someone between June and November, because you're going to have none of the illusions that Neptune brings at that time. And Neptune's going back, it's within 2 degrees of your descendant, which is, the cusp of your house of marriage and partnership. So at that point, it's going to be like you're really kind of looking, I think you're looking for someone, it looks like. Unless, are you married or you're single, aren't you? Yeah, that's what I thought. Yeah, so I think that it is a strong time of looking for a partner. It's kind of like I really want to merge with someone. I really want to be there with someone. And, yeah. There's a lot. There's a lot going on.
All about divine timing, right?
What was that? About timing?
It's all about divine timing.
It is. And, I've practiced Buddhism for 28 years, and it doesn't matter how hard I pray and chant for the right one. Until the planets align, I think you're just going to have to wait until the universe says, okay, now it's divine timing. And it really is. That's why I study astrology.
That might be for me?
Pardon me?
What do you think that might be for me? Most likely.
You've got an awful lot of planetary aspects going on and coming up for relationships. So I would say it could be any time, because I think it's better probably after April 20th, because Jupiter will be going direct again, and he's retrograding towards your Venus. And when he goes direct, he's going to go back forward, taking light from Venus and moving into Pluto by the end of the year. So, really there's so many triggers right now, technically right now. All of the planets in Pisces in your house of marriage and partnership, Mars in commitment, Venus in commitment, all of that. And it's in Aries, which is taking action. So that tells me that there's like a definite masculine sex appeal energy going on that is really being triggered. And Saturn in your house of home and family. So it could be somebody long distance who doesn't live nearby you. And, someplace that's an adventure. So,
okay.
Yeah. Well,
thank you for giving me so much time, Shelley.
Yeah, hey, go by my Facebook page and check out some stuff, and then also go to astrologerangel.com, because I've got stuff there, and shoot me an email and say hey and let me know what's up, okay?
I will, Shelley. Thank you.
It's good talking to you. Thanks for hanging in there today. All right, take care. Okay, bye.
Bye-bye.
All right, I'm going to take I probably am not going to take a break today, and I'll land it early because the trouble with this. So I'm going to go to 207. So 207, are you there?
Yes. Hi. Good morning. Good evening. Whichever it is.
It's evening, isn't it? Hi. Who is this?
This is Tom. I missed the very beginning of your show trying to pick up your link, but finally I got through you. Yeah,
my internet connection's down, so I'm using my iPad and my wireless with AT&T because I don't have anything else. So I was off the air for 5 minutes anyway, so you're fine. It took me 10 minutes to figure out that my internet service was down. Yours is too? Yep. Yeah, it just I had to go reboot my router. My daughter did for me. Yeah, I actually called Comcast right as I was supposed to be going on the air, and I've been knocked out in the neighborhood. So anyway, well, give me your birth information, and I'll do a reading for you. Sure. January 27th, 1959. Okay. At 11:52 a.m. Okay. In Queens, New York. Okay. And I live in Maine now. Oh, awesome. Okay. Let's see what we've got for you. Oh, I do have you. I must have you under a different phone number because I didn't see you on the normal phone number. Okay. What is it you'd like to know about today? Oh, anything you could tell me at all. Planetarily speaking. Mm-hmm. What's coming up on the 5th? How that's going to affect me? I mean, I'm looking for a job right now. That has been like looking for a needle in the woods. Well, it looks like it should be getting better for you. You've had Mercury retrograde in your house of career, and that's communicating what you're capable of to your employer. And for you, it's Mercury is approaching your Chiron, so there's a certain energy of woundedness, that there's something with, it's like there's a detachment that you have in your career. And honestly, I know you're looking for work, but your chart is a really strong chart for an entrepreneur, because you have, well, Saturn is in Capricorn for you, which means connectedness to the structure within career. And I mean, there's two things going on, actually. So Saturn is in the house. So do you do any kind of legal work or research or psychology, which would be really good, or anything related to the elderly is awesome for you?
Really? No, I don't.
Yeah.
I don't at
I would
all.
look someplace where the elderly are, like, I don't know, what kind of background do you have?
Mechanically.
Mechanical. Now, is that like fixing things or?
Yeah, mainly fixing things. Automotive.
Automotive. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, so what are you looking for? What kind of area are you looking for?
Right now, I'm trying to be offered a position as a truck driver. I had a license. I did that before, but that was many years ago, and now we're trying to break our way through the red tape with that because I haven't done it for so long.
Do you have any resources to take some continuing education at all?
No.
Oh.
No, I've
you're tapped out, probably.
Yeah.
Oh. You know what? I do think that when Jupiter goes direct, it's going to really shift some things. Your chart is a really strong chart for a couple different things. You're an inventor. Do you have any inventions?
I have a lot of ideas.
Mm-hmm.
I just can't seem to get anything off the ground.
Okay. Well, I can give you some suggestions for that. I don't know if you have a product or anything, but definitely something called crowdfunding would be good for you. Have you heard of crowdfunding?
No, I haven't.
Okay. On the internet, there are multiple websites where you can go, and if you just do a quickie video, I don't know if you have a little video camera or an iPhone or something, you could do your own video and upload it.
Yes.
There's one called Kickstarter, KICKSTARTER.com, Kickstarter.com. And what you do is you tell them all about your invention or your project, and then you upload a little video saying, this is what I want to do. And you read all the instructions, and it's just one of the ones I know about. But basically, you say, I need X amount of dollars, and you make a plea on the video for the money for your project, and then people donate money to your project. And then when you if you give it a time limit, and if you can get the amount of money in that time, it's all yours. But I would type in online crowdfunding, and you'll see bunches. Crowdfunding, CROWD, crowdfunding.
Yeah.
And anyway, that's definitely something I think would be good for you, because you have Venus, which is the planet of love and desire and money, in Aquarius, which is, of course, invention, up in your house of career. You also have the sun up there, and Mercury is going across that now. It's within 7 degrees of hitting your Venus, so that means that you're going to be doing something electronic, something related to career, entrepreneurship, and also something that communicates your desires to the collective. So that would be a perfect thing for you to do. You have.
Wow.
I'm going to tell you, Neptune is just about out of your house of career and into the house of money from career, but right now you have Venus, Uranus, South Node, Mars, Chiron, and Sun in your house of money from career. So, and that they fall into, the Sun is in Pisces, which means she just wants to merge with everybody and be part of everything, and the ego wants to be part of what's going on. But Mars, Uranus, and Venus are all saying, do it for yourself. And I know you're looking for a job for someone else, but your chart is also saying, do it for yourself. Find your own power. Find your own source. And right now, the difficulty for you is that you have Saturn in Capricorn. You have Pluto transiting Capricorn. And that is again, Capricorn in the negative sense is about the fear. It's about the fear of not being supported if you follow your dreams. And Pluto is trying to show you your fears. And Uranus in Aries is trying to show you where you can be autonomous, where you can do things for yourself. And it's about finding your own voice and really selling yourself, selling your inventions. That's what it tells me, okay? That's what your chart's showing me. Jupiter is retrograde literally at the exact degree of Uranus in your house of home and family in Leo. Uranus in Leo is creativity, invention, something related to children. And then Jupiter, of course, retrograde is pulling back energy, making you feel like you can't do it, like it's not connected to you. But when he goes direct April 20th, and that's a big date for you, it's going to make you feel like you need to take whatever those creative energies you have and move forward with them, okay?
Wow.
So
okay.
I strongly see autonomy and doing your own inventions and your own thing in your chart. Right now, I think, are you married?
Yes.
Okay. Saturn is in your house of marriage, and so there's a certain amount of, I have to go and do this over here, and I don't know if your partner's going to say, yeah, that's really something I enjoy, unless she's Sagittarius or somebody who enjoys a lot of adventurous, like Leo. Any fire energies would be, yeah, let's go do it. That might cause difficulty, but really Saturn in Sagittarius is saying you need, if you can't get help from your wife or from your partner, then you need to have a partner in business, okay?
Right.
So that's really what Saturn's wanting to do. And, of course, Saturn will retrograde for the rest of the year back into the exact degree that your Jupiter is at, right at the cusp of your house of marriage. That means that there are some past issues that you've had to deal with about being supported in your adventuresome, childlike creative nature. Jupiter in Scorpio, Jupiter doesn't necessarily like Scorpio. That's your natal planet. Jupiter is there in your birth. So Jupiter is the ruler of Sagittarius, which rules the rest of your house of marriage and partnership. And so you are someone, you need to connect to your partner to feel security, but you also want to go off and see far distant lands and new horizons, and Saturn is asking you to do that. So if you can't get that support from your partner, I would highly suggest you find someone who can help you with your adventures, not necessarily romantic.
No, I have support from her.
Awesome.
And she's a Virgo, and my daughter's a Scorpio.
Ooh, wow. Well, your daughter might have some input, too. That might help, because Scorpio rules your house of work. So, again, if you're looking for a bricks and mortar type of job, I would go to where you find more of the elderly, because every time I see someone with Saturn and Capricorn, you really connect deeply. Like I'm talking the VFW, go to, and that could even mean looking for an actual job and what you know to do at places like a VA hospital or places where you find, more veterans or elderly people, because that's really strong in your chart. Okay?
Okay. Could you back up just a little bit about May 20th?
Yeah. May 20th?
Right.
April 20th? What do you mean by May 20th?
I believe you said May 20th or April 20th?
It was April 20th. That's when Jupiter will go direct. So right now he's retrograde. Yeah, Jupiter retrograde means it's really uncomfortable energy for connecting to people. And for you, that's in the home and family, like children. There might be some kind of disconnect somehow with children. You might feel a little lonely. I think that you're a very generous person when it comes to your children, and you really you have kind of a unique way of connecting, I think, because Uranus is always about eccentricities, and in Leo it rules children in the house of home and family. So there's a certain amount of eccentricity going on, and that might actually be what disconnects you from children right now, is that they're like, I just don't understand you. You don't do things the logical way. I don't get it. But that will all loosen up for you after April 20th, because Jupiter brings in fortune, and Jupiter in Leo, actually just the last couple days, the moon was in Leo, and that's a really fortunate time for gambling. But Jupiter after the 20th is about gambling. I mean, it's about taking the risk. And after April 20th, you're going to... So everything in your chart's telling me, take a risk, take a chance on yourself, okay? Because it's there, and you have Mars in Taurus, so I understand that need to feel connected. And believe it or not, your Mars is right on the horizon the day you were born. It was coming up on the horizon at the moment you were born.
Right.
So Mars in Taurus is you have the ability to make money. I mean, you've got a lot of strong planetary aspects for making money in your chart. I think that definitely... I know this sounds kind of odd, especially if you're in a mechanical background, but I would go to a hospice if I were you, because you've got two planets in Scorpio and Saturn and Capricorn in the house that is ruled by Scorpio, and all is death and rebirth and the elderly. And that to me is like, you know, even if you volunteer at a hospital to help people transitioning or a hospice area, you're going to find connections there and something that feeds your soul and gets you on another path. Okay?
Okay.
Well, I wish you the best of luck. You're a sweetheart.
Yeah. Oh, thank you very much.
My pleasure.
Thank you. I'll speak to you again. Bye-bye now.
Okay. Bye. Take care.
You too.
Thanks. Okay, let's see where we have. All right, we're at 201, so I'm going to take 201. Hi, 201. How are you?
Hi, I'm okay. I want to know, do you see my health improving? Like,
okay. And who is this?
My name's Jennifer.
Jennifer, okay. Have you called before?
No, I never called.
Okay, hang on a second. Let me get your birthday.
October 9th, 78.
Okay. And what time? Do you know what time?
I believe 5:35 p.m.
Okay. Okay, wonderful. And where were you born?
Paterson, New Jersey.
Okay. And J. Awesome. Okay. Patterson, New Jersey, you said?
Yes.
Oh, okay. It's only one T. That's why I couldn't find it. Okay. So you're wondering about your health.
Mm-hmm.
And so you have Saturn and Virgo in the house of health, believe it or not. Mm-hmm. So what's going on is Neptune is almost exactly opposite that for you. And Neptune is about the illusions you have. And so there's actually a lot going on. Saturn is squaring your natal Saturn. And tell me what it is that is going on if you can, if you want to.
There's different pain conditions, like lupus and migraine, different things, different pain issues.
Okay, so it sounds so it's like autoimmune?
Yes, yeah.
Okay. Well, yes, Jupiter is going to be coming into your house of health at the end of the year, right around late August. So that is going to expand your awareness of what's going on. Let me see what else. And then Saturn, of course, is in the house of Jupiter. So that's about education, and it's also about the physicality. And I'm trying to get this all put into words. It's about nature and naturopathy and about doing exercise. Okay. So that's the energy I'm getting for what is going on with you, that you need to start to own your physical body. And I know I don't want to sound trite. I don't want to sound like I don't understand that what you've got, it's serious. It's not a light thing to have to deal with those issues. But from an astrological standpoint and what's going on, definitely I look at astrology as a photograph of what, like a pathway that we can take, and it's symbology, and it's like a projection of our collective psyche and our individual psyche. And because you called me at the precise moment you called me, and I'm looking at those planets for that moment, this is what I see in the sky that is influencing you and what you need to know. And I think that there are issues probably psychologically, subliminally related to children for you. So I don't know if something has happened in your life either as a child or because I don't know what your situation is.
Yeah, there has before, yeah.
But the issue around children is very strong for you, psychologically related to your health, okay?
All right.
Yeah, you've got, because Neptune's direct right now, it's more about separating, like being in that dreamy quality. And the reason I bring up Neptune is because it's opposing your Saturn and Virgo. Saturn and Virgo is not necessarily fun, especially in the house of health. It means you're going to have health issues, but I do believe
Am I going to have them forever? Am I always going to have it? It's always going to be a weak point?
No, I think that you have health issues as long as you choose to not own your health as a holistic idea. And I have to always preface this that I'm not a doctor, but you know, I look at the influences and I can see things that relate, and there's definitely issues around having, like, being heard and having your identity taken seriously, that you have a lot to give, and you have 6 planets split between Libra and Scorpio. And of course, Libra, Sun, Pluto, Mercury is all giving and trying to give to others and making other people happy. It's a people pleaser. And Scorpio is about intensity of emotion and passion and depth and really wanting to merge with the truth. So Mercury, because Mercury rules Mercury is a co-ruler of your house of health, and it also literally rules health in the zodiac. You know, Mercury is telling me that there's also some issues around your father and relationships, how you related to him, and also, again, like I said, the children, because you have Jupiter in your house, what would be the 12th house of your health issues, which is the 5th house in the zodiac. That may mean nothing to you, and I understand if it doesn't, but you're in a Jupiter return, or you just passed a Jupiter return. Jupiter's retrograde, going back towards a Jupiter. So really, right now, Jupiter is trying to tell you that there may be some kind of disconnectedness between the father figure and you as a child, and definitely Mercury and Libra in the house of the father is also saying that Mercury, which rules Virgo, is about communicating. And if you're not communicating your needs and who you are as a person, and you're not validated, and that's a huge thing for you, Venus, Mars, Uranus in Scorpio is about validation and intrinsic validation. It's about, I'm a worthy person, as opposed to like if you had those planets in Taurus, it would be about, you know, do I look pretty? But, I mean, and that sounds superficial, but it's about the material world and beauty, or the material world and money and value with the material world and the physicality, as opposed to intrinsically having value as a person. And Venus, and of course Mars is the father, Venus is the mother, up there in the house of the mother. So there's also probably a few issues around your sense of worth, but I think that there's a lot going on in your house of your parents. Let me just put it that way. You know, for your father, it's more about being validated for your opinion and your identity. And for your mother, it's more about how you merge the masculine and feminine in relationships and having your own sense of autonomy. And do I feel validated when I'm being myself and acting in my own personal truth? And if that's not the case, I mean, definitely look to the psychological issues when it comes to health, and get the book by Louise Hay called You Can Heal Your Life, which will give you some clues as to what specific health issues are related to in a psychological sense or an emotional sense, and can really be a jumping off point for maybe owning some of your own personal issues that might flare up with these. And the other thing I will tell you, once again, not a doctor, is look to your sugar intake, your alcohol intake, and your pH balance versus alkalinity. Because you need to be more alkaline. And those issues really strong. And I'm giving you another thing. If you already know, then I'm reiterating.
Need that lemon water.
Yep, alkaline water. So anyway, I wish you the best. And I think it's going to be much better again after April 20th when Jupiter goes direct. And I think, you know, he'll expand that physical energy, especially the one last thing I want to say, when Saturn right now is in Sagittarius, which rules the legs and, you know, walking and hiking and the physicality of the legs, it's the centaur. So half man, half horse. So it's about the legs and nature. Saturn retrogrades back to Scorpio, so it's going to help you between, I think it is June and August, to really address the last bits of those emotional issues with your mother and maybe things that you haven't really wrapped up with those issues. And then come the end of the year, the last 3 months of the year, we're all going to be able to move a little bit more, and we're getting not a little, but a lot forward, because Saturn will go back into Sagittarius, Jupiter will go into Virgo. It's going to be more about really taking care of ourselves in a physical sense and getting back to nature, getting back to health and exercise. And that will really be good for you. Okay?
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. My pleasure. Good talking to you.
You too. Bye-bye.
Okay, bye. All right. Let's see. We've got 862. Hi, 862. Who is this? 862?
Hello.
Hi, who is this?
Hello.
You've got me. This is Shelley. Who is this?
Hi, Shelley. This is Hadassah. Jackie, how are you?
Hi, I'm good. What's up in your world?
I didn't know I would get in.
Oh, yeah. You know what? I didn't think I'd have this many callers because I lost all my callers when I couldn't get on the air at the beginning, but they're starting to come back on. So, yeah, what can I do for you today?
I just want to update. I have some things I want to proceed on, and I just want to make sure my timing is right.
Sure. You want to tell me what you're looking to?
Well, I actually want to. I want to see if I could actually get in touch with the courts and put in a claim.
I would do it after April 20th because you'll have Jupiter going direct in your house of legalities. So, and Jupiter is fortune, and it's really right now it's retrograde and it's not in that house. But when were you planning on doing that?
Well, I'm just stuck right now. I don't know what's going on. Everybody else is doing things around me. I haven't done anything.
Yeah, I know. Well, you know why? Because
studying.
all that Pisces is in your house of money. You have Saturn in Pisces, and then you've got Jupiter hovering right at the end degree. Literally, it's like 2 degrees off of changing houses into your legal house, into the court system. I mean, everything that relates to Scorpio, which is legalities, law, research, death and rebirth. It can also be inheritance, and it's also the house of your mother. And so it's coming, but it's right there. Literally, Jupiter just came back into your house of marriage and partnership. So it's kind of like, oh, just go forward already. And that's April 20th. So if you're looking for something to come about financially from a legal thing, that's going to be after April 20th. And I wouldn't initiate till then.
You wouldn't initiate?
No, and the other thing is Mercury, of course, goes retrograde 3 times a year, and he goes retrograde in May. So there's kind of a window. Let me see how far he goes back to 4 degrees. Hang on, I'm just checking. Yeah, there's a window. So he'll go retrograde in Gemini, back to 4 degrees of Gemini, and that starts on the 4th. Well, May 4th is when it's 4 degrees Gemini, and it doesn't retrograde until the 19th, but he goes back to the degree of the 4th. So if you're going to initiate something, I would do it like in those 2 weeks between April 20th and the 4th, because then, let me see. Oh, I take it back. You know, I keep telling everybody April 20th. I take it back. April 7th. I don't know why I got April 20th. April 7th is when Jupiter goes direct. So you've got 3.5 weeks in April, and then about a week in May if you're going to do something to like initiate it. But if you do it after May 4th, look to have to do it again or have a hold up with it. Okay.
Okay, you mentioned something about the legs.
Yeah, Saturn and Sagittarius, it rules the legs, and it's in your house of career, but you also have Venus and Mercury in Sagittarius, and it's squaring Neptune right now, which is directly on your Saturn. So right now you're just past a direct Saturn square in your natal chart. So do you have issues with legs or feet?
Yeah, I have issues with my legs and my head, really.
And your head?
Mhm.
Well, that's
like
the Mars.
My vision.
Yeah. Yeah, right now Mars and Venus and Uranus are all in Aries and the South Node, and that's all about head. And Mars is the action related to head. And also, I don't know if you've been breaking glasses or anything. That can also happen at this time, too. A lot, it relates to glass and shattering and blood. Blood is part of the Aries energy as well. So is this an ongoing thing or just something that popped up?
No, it's kind of ongoing, but it just seemed more extreme. There's nothing breaking yet, thank God for that. But I'm having problems with my glasses. I guess I'm just going to have to go back to the doctor.
Yeah, if it's your vision, definitely that could be affected because of Saturn and Pisces and your Saturn. You've got Mars trining Saturn, but that's not necessarily related to your vision. Your vision is Mars in Aries and Venus in Aries. So, you could potentially wait until after Mars goes into Taurus, but then after Mars goes into Taurus, it's about the physical body. And so, it's going to be there probably for the next 2 months, at least. So, is it something you don't want to deal with?
I don't know. I think basically I've just been caught up with time and running.
Oh. Well, you've still got 3 planets sitting there. Well, Mercury's in Aquarius, but Neptune and the Sun are in Pisces, making things kind of slow down. So you might want to take advantage of it.
Okay.
Is there anything else?
Yeah, I have a son that was born May 8th, 1998.
Okay.
Is there anything you could tell me about my teenager that's driving me nuts?
Yeah, you said May 4th. What day?
May 8th.
1998.
Mhm.
Yeah, my son was born in 98 as well. I can tell you, they're teenagers and they're annoying. I can tell you a lot of the energy that they're having right now is about. Hold on, let me see. Is about the mother issues.
Mhm.
So let me just see real quick here. Okay. Yeah, he's got Saturn in Aries, Mercury in Aries, and Venus in Aries. So he's like in a Venus return. He has Mars on his Venus, and Aries and Uranus is also there. And as long as Uranus is in Aries, it's going to be difficult. But it's probably more difficult, more pronounced, while Pluto is squaring it. So what it's doing is Pluto is squaring right just outside his Mercury. It is in square. It's not an exact square. But as long as Pluto's in Capricorn, which is through 2023, it's going to be a bit of a challenge because there's that square energy. It's like the authority, and he wants to be his own man, and you're just a reflection of the authority figure to him right now. So, and Saturn is about to hit his Pluto, so there's going to be some kind of energy. I wouldn't be surprised if something's going to happen that changes his life related to travel or, anything that relates to adventure or travel or going away, like distance, so to speak. So, I know he's driving us. Can I just caution you to be aware of the friends he has?
Yeah.
Yeah, I know it's rough, and it's definitely, he's got Jupiter in his house of career, so if he could get himself on track, there's some really strong energy of life change around career. I just would really watch out for his friends because Saturn squaring his Jupiter in the house of friendship, and he doesn't understand. He thinks that they're all wonderful and great, but, Neptune, this is what I want to tell you. Neptune retrogrades, and it's going to be a wake-up call for him. And that happens, when did I say? I said it earlier. June. I've got to go. Okay, so for everybody who's listening, thank you for listening, and I'll wrap it up.
It happens when?
June 10th, Neptune retrogrades, and it's going to retrograde in his house of friendship. So it's going to be like a big wake-up call for how these people are. And this is the first time he's had this retrograde, I think, in that house. Before it was in his home and family. This year it's in his house of friendship. So it's going to be like, this is how these people are. You need to pay attention. And I think they're probably into things he shouldn't be into.
Okay.
So,
no way to avoid it?
My way to avoid things or to help people is probably different than everybody else's. I mean, I use my Buddhist practice, and you got a clear energy. I think, honestly, when it comes to teenagers this age, you have to give them a certain amount of space. I mean, especially Uranus on Mercury in his chart, he's not going to listen to you. He thinks he knows everything, and that can happen to most kids at this age. But for him specifically, Uranus is right on his Mercury, so it's like he cannot listen to anyone else. He's only listening to his own internal voice. And he's got Saturn right there in Aries. And Uranus is going to be going over his Saturn here in about 5 years. That'll be a big thing for him, I think. Honestly, and I know this because of my son, 2020 through 2023 is going to be a big life change for these kids. But he's got Saturn right on his natal Pluto right now, so that's a big shift for him as well. So, is his father around?
Yes, but it still falls on me pretty much. They don't believe nothing.
Yeah, I was going to say, I think he's really looking for the father figure. And if he could find a good father figure, I don't know if a boys' club would help, or if you've considered that, or a big brother.
He plays sports.
Yeah. Well, sports is good for him. Boxing would probably be really good for him. Yeah, boxing. I would say get him into boxing. He needs some place to put his male aggression. He's got Mars in Taurus, which is the physical body. Mars is hitting, basically. And Aries, he's got Saturn, Mercury, and Venus in Aries. He's got a lot of anger, and if he doesn't have a constructive way to express it, he's only going to internalize it. So he needs to express it, and I would highly recommend, finding a really good boxing club for him.
Wow. And this kid has always been active. He's football, basketball,
or martial arts.
And I'm hoping baseball.
Too. Does he do martial arts?
No, he usually just play the balls.
I'm telling you, if he got into something like martial arts or boxing, I think he would be like, wow, this is really awesome. I love this. I really do. Yeah, because think about it. Martial, M-A-R, martial comes from Mars. There's a reason it's called martial and martial law, because it's Mars, and Mars rules. And the other thing is, he probably could be a policeman if that's what he chose to do, or fire. Saturn and Aries in the house of work, he definitely, and also something like emergency services could be a really good thing if he would consider something like that. Okay?
I've been holding my breath on him.
You know what? Give him a direction. The best thing you can do for these kids is, and that's what I use with my son, because I look at his chart and I'm like, you need to be in something that nurtures in the work environment. And he got a job working at a grocery store, and it's perfect. But your son has Saturn and Aries in the house of work, and that to me says he needs to do something that connects to, like I said, martial arts or policing or anything along those lines, something, a strong male role, a strong male vocation. So, yeah, if you can focus his energy towards something like that, and honestly, when you have children, especially boys, you need to find, if they're acting out, it's because they're hurting inside. You need to direct the energy to something constructive, because otherwise they're going to put it into something negative. So for him, Mars in Taurus, Saturn in Aries, and it's in the house that is ruled by Virgo and by Libra. So Virgo is about helping others. It's about service, which again is police work, fire work, emergency services, I would recommend that. And he's got Moon in Libra. He does like to help people. And he's got
he does. He helps people, but I think they use him in
right.
We live in the inner city. There's a lot of temptation. He has a lot of peer pressure coming at him, and I know that because last year was volatile as well. I think he felt more threatened last year.
Yeah.
And I don't want him to be in a position where just to protect himself he's in the wrong place at the wrong time. He doesn't understand it, but I see it.
Mm-hmm. I know, and you see it from the outside. He's not going to listen because he's got Saturn in Aries and he's got Uranus right there in his Aries. Uranus says, I can do it myself. But I would suggest if you could even find a good boxing club that does, student thing, or like, what's the other one, Taibo, something like that, something kickboxing or anything like that would be so influential to him because they have a system, especially Eastern martial arts. They have the sensei mentality. Sensei is the word for master. And so what they do is like teacher, a teacher, how to explain it? It's like a mentor. So if you get him into something like that, he's going to have like a mentor to direct him and guide him and help him. And, and they can do that at boys clubs or youth clubs, things like that if you don't have access. But I would really research that because I think for him, that would be a saving activity for him.
Okay. All right. Thank you so much.
Now I got
something else to focus on. Thank you.
You're welcome. My pleasure. Lots of love to you. Take care. Bye.
Thanks, Shell.
You're welcome. Okay, everyone, that's the show. Thank you for sticking with me. And we will be back next week. Try and take it easy. It's approaching full moon, and Saturn is about to go retrograde, and it's all on my website, astrologerangel.com. So see you soon. Bye. Thanks for stopping by AstroEnergy this week. If you would like to get a hold of Shelley Overton, you can get her at astrologerangel.com, on Facebook at AstroEnergy or Astrologer Angel. The music was provided by Kevin MacLeod at incompetech.com with additional music by Ironwood Rain. Check them out on the net at ironwoodrain.com.